One tip that I want to share with you and invite you to explore for yourself is if you feel stressed out, is to start to really pay attention to your nervous system and find out if you are primarily spending a lot of your time in a sympathetic nervous response and see if you can start to switch into more of a parasympathetic nervous response in your body. And I'm next going to explain the difference between the two. So we have an autonomic nervous system inside of the body that has two branches. One of them is called the sympathetic nervous response, and the other one is called the parasympathetic nervous response. With the sympathetic nervous response, what tends to happen in the body is that we go into that fight, flight, freeze, fawn response. And most of you by now probably have heard of it. If not, I can create a different video on that. But basically, it's a way for the body to prepare for some kind of an emergency or to prepare to take action, to take care quickly of a situation that's emerging. And for many of us, what can happen is that we can get stuck in that sympathetic nervous response. This can also kind of create this circular movement within our nervous system. And what I mean by circular movement is like a pattern that basically continues to recreate within your inner nervous system. And so the invitation here is to start to notice how you can switch from that sympathetic emergency response into a parasympathetic nervous response, which is called the rest and digest mode. And if you hear the word digest, it does not only include digesting your food, but it means learning to digest life's experiences. So if you're somebody who goes from one thing to another, to another, to another, and you rarely pause throughout the day, or just in your life in general, and you rarely allow yourself to slow down and to simply be with yourself or be in nature, it's basically what happens is that they're different. Like if you look at a computer and you have maybe tabs that are opened. So if you go from one experience to another, and you don't allow yourself to process the experience or to process the emotions and feelings that have emerged as a result of that, these tabs are still open in your computer. And so it takes up a lot of energy. And basically the operating system is constantly on and working. So just find out what is it going to take for you to switch your nervous system from sympathetic into parasympathetic. Obviously, I personally love meditation, mindfulness practices. It could be a walk in the park. It could be taking a bath. It could be doing some deep breathing. It could be doing some journaling. If it's too extreme, if the stress obviously is too extreme or it's coming from trauma, you will need extra support because sometimes we can't regulate our nervous systems by ourselves, and not that we should. And we need co-regulation. That means another nervous system, another person's nervous system is needed in that moment so that you can actually use those mirror neurons to really allow the nervous system of someone else whose nervous system is settled, is calmer than yours, in order to support you in integrating your experience so that you can find that regulation within yourself. Another tip that I recommend is earthing and grounding. I will include a meditation below the video on this. And grounding can also be very co-regulating, connecting with nature as far as putting your hands on the earth, on a tree, on a rock, can also be co-regulating if you are energetically tuned, and you can start to open to the connection of nature, earth, rocks, whatever it is that you are tuning into. Okay, so I hope this helps, and I will be creating more videos, so stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to my newsletter if you haven't already, and take care of yourself.